Hello everyone, welcome to Mifratech. So today in this section I'm going to explain you this Twitter sentimental analysis project. So here in this project mainly we are going to predict whether a particular tweet whatever you enter by the user is a positive or negative. That is what the sentimental analysis we are doing in this project with the help of different kind of machine learning techniques, algorithms and NLP techniques we are using here. So how to run the project, what is the exact output you are going to get in this project, we have explained the previous section. So now in this section, I'm going to explain you the backend code, like what is the data set we use, how we train the algorithm, which and all the algorithm used, all those things I'm going to explain you now. That is the backend code. So first we'll go to the project folder. Here, what are the things related to backend code means this whatever final pickle model.pkl is there. This is the final algorithm which gives the more accuracy. We convert it into a pickle model like a binary format so that we can directly load it in the front end. Next is requirement. This is the text document where all the different packages needed both for front end and back end we are written inside this text document. Next we have train. So this is the exact data set we are using here in order to train our algorithm. So Twitter sentiment analysis Python file. This is the exact backend code Python file. We're training the algorithm. All those things are written inside this Python file. So these are the things related to backend code, 4 files. So now before directly going to that one, first we have to install different packages needed both for front end and backend in the command prompt. So how to install them means first directly go to search bar. Here you type cmd, that is command prompt. When you open this command prompt will show, just double click on this one. So now the command prompt open. Now what you have to do is open this. There is a requirements, I told, right? This text document, double click on this one, requirements will open. See here, these are the different packages needed both for front end and back end with the version also there. Flask, numpy, pandas, matplotlib, pymysql, nltk, sklearn. So here among these things, this Flask, numpy, pandas, matplotlib, nltk, you can install a later version also, whatever the version you want, available new version also. But this pymysql and scikit-learn, you have to need to install this particular version only, because there are some new version available. If you install those version, there is a chance of getting error. So it is better to use this sklearn and that is scikit-learn and pymysql, this particular versions only. So how to install them in the command prompt means just open the command prompt. Now we have to go to the particular directory where Python has been installed in your system. So go to uh, file manager, then go to local disk key. Here go to program files. Inside this there is a file folder called python 36. Inside that one there is a scripts. So this is the exact path where my Python has been installed in my system, Python 3.6.8. Now copy this path, go to command prompt. Now type cd, that is change directory, paste this path, click on enter. Now my command prompt path has been changed successfully. Now what is the command to install the packages means pip install the name of the file, that is package, numpy hyphen user. When you are installing for the first time, internet should be connected to your system, because when you're doing for the first time, after that it will download all the files. After that what it will show successfully installed. So but in my system all these packages already there, I have already installed them. So when I click on enter, what will happen is it will show requirement already satisfied message, because in my system they are already present. So only you will get that kind of message there. See, when I install pip install numpy folder, what it is showing, requirement already satisfied, nothing but this particular numpy package is already there in my system. So if you are doing first time for in your system, means it will start downloading, and make sure internet should be connected there. So next file or package what we have is pandas. So pip install, instead of numpy now it is pandas hyphen user, click on enter. So now you can see requirement already satisfied message you are getting is nothing but all the packages which are required both for my this pandas is already there in my system. So next thing is pip install numpy over pandas over scikit-learn. So like I told, scikit-learn, the particular version we have to install, just come here in this requirement text document, copy this exact line scikit-learn 0.22, then go to command prompt, pip install. After that paste whatever you copied hyphen user with the this particular version only it will install if you exactly like this command. See, requirement already satisfied message you are getting, it is nothing but the particular package is already there in my system. Next thing is matplotlib. So how to install matplotlib means pip install matplotlib hyphen user, click on enter. Here requirement already satisfied, nothing but that is matplotlib also already there in my system. So next thing is Flask we have to install. So pip install flask flask, click on enter for user. See here requirement already satisfied, nothing but this particular package is also already there in my system. So next we left with PyMySQL. So like I told, PyMySQL the particular version only you have to install. Go to requirement. Now just copy this entire line PyMySQL with the version, come back to command prompt, pip install. After that paste whatever you copied -f1 user, this particular version only installed in your system. So here requirement already satisfied, nothing but this particular whatever I'm installing, it is already there in my system. So finally we left with NLTK. So NLTK we have to install, that is the only thing left. So pip install. Now type NLTK is nothing but natural language toolkit. So all the things required for NLP techniques are available in this NLTK. After that just click on enter. You will get a message now. See here it is also already there in my system. You are getting requirement already satisfied message here. So now all the different packages required both for front and back end have already installed in my system in the command prompt. Now close this command prompt, close this requirement text document also, go to the project folder now. So now which is the code, like I told, backend code is Twitter sentimental analysis. How to open this means just right click on this one. When you right click on this one, it will show here. When it is not showing edit with ideally, just click on open with Python. After that close this one, again right click on this one, you will get edit with ideally, edit with 3.6. So now this backend code will open in Python shell. So this is the exact backend code we have written in this project. So now the first thing in the program what you have to do is different packages we are using for this particular program we need to import. That is the first step in the program. So first import numpy as np. So what I'm doing is I'm importing numpy library and storing as alias name np. So why numpy library is required means, if you are using any kind of mathematical techniques or using n-dimensional array means all those techniques is available inside the numpy library. So I'm importing it. So next thing is import pandas as pd. So whatever the data set we are using in this project, in order to load the data set inside the program, in order to check is there any null values or duplicate values. So in order to do all these techniques, all are available inside the pandas library. So I'm importing pandas. So next thing is, so in this Twitter sentiment analysis, so this is NLP techniques. So here mainly the Twitter is nothing but some textual documents will be there. So when all those textual tweets, there will be some symbols or punctuation, anything will be there. So in order to remove all kind of symbols or punctuation, we need a technique. So that will import that one. So import RE, that is import regular expression or regex, you can call anything. This will help us to do that process in order to remove any kind of punctuations or symbols present in my tweets. So next thing is import NLTK. So I'm importing NLTK, natural language toolkit. So all the NLP techniques are available inside this one. So next thing is, here we in this project we are going to draw on a graph. For now to draw that graph we need a library, so that I'm importing. So import matplotlib.pyplot as plt. So this matplotlib library help us to draw the graph. So next is, while you are executing the program, you are getting any kind of warnings means we should ignore the warnings. So how to ignore the warnings means import warnings dot filter warnings of ignore. So these two lines will help us to ignore any kind of warning that you will get when you are executing the program. So next thing is, in this project, in all from all the tweets we need to remove the punctuation. Like I told, punctuations are different kind of symbols we have to remove. After that stop words we have to remove, and we have to finally stop words we have to remove, and we have to convert all the sentence into a list of words. After that we should lemmatize the each word. Lemmatization, there is a technique in NLP like converting into dictionary form, that we have to do. So in order to do all these things, there are some of the NLP reference or dictionaries or reference we need. So all those things I'm going to download first. So nltk.download stop words. So this will stop words what I'm downloading, it will contain the list of stop words present in NLTK toolkit. After that NLTK download of Punket. So Punket is like a sentence tokenizer. In order to do the convert your sentence into words or sentence into a tokenize, like converting into word, there is a reference we needed. All those reference will be available inside this Punket I am downloading. Next is NLTK download of WordNet. So in order to whatever the NLTK WordNet it will do, in order to convert your all of them, whatever the WordNet lemmatizer will do, right? In order to do the lemmatization, a reference we needed, all those reference will be available inside this WordNet. So I'm downloading all these things you have to download. So next thing in the so now what and all the different things needed I have imported. The next thing in the program is we have to load our data set to the program. So like I told before loading the dataset, I will show you what is the exact dataset we are using in this project. Go to the project folder. The name of the dataset is train. Just double click on this one. The dataset will open here. Just wait. So wait for some time. So now you can see this is the exact data set we are using in this project. See here, this data set, whatever we are using in this project, there are only two columns is there. One is sentiment text, one is sentiment. So inside this text sentiment text column, all the different tweets will be stored, and in sentiment column 0 and 1 is 0 is means negative, 1 means positive. This is what the exact data set we are using in this project. And when you come down, you can see there are how many tweets is there, means there are in my entire data set there are 99,989 tweets is there. Though this is a very huge data set is there, whatever I'm using here. So this is the exact data set we are using in this project. So now I will close this one. We'll go to the program again. So now I will load that whatever the data set I just shown you, I will load it to my data program. So how to load means with the help of pandas library I will load. So pd dot read underscore csv, name of the data set we have to give, train the extension, so that whatever the data set I shown you, it is in the extension csv, that is comma separated value. I'm giving train dot csv. After that, if you directly load this data set, you will get an error there. So in order to avoid that error, there is an encoding technique I will use while I'm reading this data set. So in some data set we'll need that encoding. So encoding iOS 88 final one I'm using. This is the type of an encoding which will help us to read this data set. So after reading the data set, I will store it in a variable data now. So now all my data set is available in a variable data. So now first what I will do is print data dot header. So what this header function will do is it is going to print starting 5 rows of data from my data set. Starting from index 0 to 4, 5 rows of data it is going to print. If you want to print more number of rows of data, means inside this set function, if you type 78 means 78 rows it will print. 89 means 789 means 789 rows of data from the data set it will print. So if you not mentioning any name, is by default this header function will print starting 5 rows of data from your entire data set. So next thing is a print of data dot shape. So what this line will do means it is going to print number of rows and column present in your data set. So when you print shape, it will give number of rows and column present in your data set. Next thing is, in your data set, is there any duplicate values present, means we have to drop them. So how to drop the duplicate values means data dot drop underscore duplicates of. So this particular function will drop any kind of duplicate values present in your data set. So after dropping, I am going to store it in the same variable data. Now I drop the duplicate values, but I don't know whether they have been dropped successfully or not. So in order to cross check, I will again print the shape of my data set. So print of data dot shape again will print the number of rows and column present in my data set. Initially itself I have printed, now also I have printed. If I cross check again both of them, the number of, there is a reduction in number of rows, means there is a chances that duplicate values present, I drop them. If it is the number of rows and columns is remaining same, means there is no duplicate values. Like that I can cross check. So next is, in your data set, is there any null cells present, means you have to check them. So how to check the null cells means print of data dot is null of sum of. So what this particular line will do means it is going to print in each column how many null cells present, that count value you are going to get as output there. So after checking, in case null cells present means you have to drop them. So how to drop means data dot drop now. So this particular data dot drop now function will help us to drop any kind of null cells present in your data set. So after dropping, I am going to store it in the same variable data. So in order to cross check whether they have been dropped successfully or not, again I will check is there any null cells. So print of data dot is null of sum, again will print the number of null cells present in each column. So up to here whatever I did, just data pre-processing or data cleaning, you can call data analyzing, anything I did now. So next thing is, here like I told, I am drawing a graph here in this project. So what is the graph I am doing? For the sentiment column, whatever we have, there are two different values, 0 and 1. 0 means negative, 1 means positive. For the sentiment column, how many zeros are there, how many values, like how many positive tweets and how many negative tweets is entirely there in my entire data set. For that one bar plot I am going to plot now. So data dot for sentiment column, that value underscore counts I am calling. What this value underscore counts will give is, it is going to give how many number of zeros present in the sentiment column and how many number of ones present. That for that count value I am drawing a graph. So dot plot of, what is the kind of plot I'm like graph I'm drawing is bar plot. So kind is equal to bar. So there are two different values, 0 and 1, and colors I will use 2. So color is equal to salmon and light blue I'm using. Finally for the x-axis, if you want to add any data means or any information or any sentence means, that you can add using plt.x label. I will add 1 means equal to positive tweet, 0 means negative. So in order to indicate the user what is 1 and 0, that I will return in x-axis. So next, the title of the graph I am giving plt.title of Twitter sentimental analysis. This is the title of the graph I am giving. Finally, in order to show the output, in order to print the graph output, I will write plt.show. When you do plt.show, it will finally show your graph output. So now up to this much, I am going to show you the output now. So how to run this means just click on run module F5. If you are making any changes, means you have to save before proceed running. So now a Python shell will open. Now I will show you the output of up to this much, whatever just now I expanded, up to that much output I will show. After that we'll continue with the rest of the program. So this project, in order to run this particular code, will take a more time. Because why it will take more time is because there is a huge data set we are using. Like I told, 99,000 something data set we are using, so it will take a lot of time to run the project now. So now you can see the first thing what I told is, when I print data.head, this is the output you will get. See, starting from index 0 to 4, 5 rows of data it has printed head function. After that I check data.shape. So like number of rows and columns. See here, there are 99,989 rows and 2 columns present in my entire data set. And there are, after I checking printing the shape, what I did, I dropped the duplicate values right here. I drop the duplicate values. So after dropping, I again check the shape. So now you can see after dropping duplicate values, shape is 99,980. It's the same rows of and columns of data is there. Is nothing but there are no duplicate values. After that, I checked is there any null cells. Now you can see in sentiment also null cells value is 0. Sentiment column also 0. So there are no null cells present in my data set. In case present also, I drop them. I again check null cells is there. Now it is 0. So up to this much, whatever I explained is done. Next thing, I plotted a graph. So now graph is generated. Now you can see this is the exact graph we are going to get. Like I told, the heading Twitter, the title of the graph I given, Twitter sentimental analysis. The x-axis I have written 1 equal to positive tweet, 0 is negative, it is printed. Now we can see in the x-axis 1 and 0 is there. In y-axis the number of counts is there. See, you can see 1 is nothing but there are positive tweet. How many is there? Around like 5,000 something of 5,600 something of, sorry, it is not 5,000, 50,000 something of positive tweet is there. Around 40,000 something of negative tweet is there. Out of 99,989, 55 something positive and 45 something or 40 something negative tweet is there. So this is what the exact graph we have plotted here. So now here there are different things we can do in this graph. Is there is a arrow mark, you can see this will help us to move the graph like this. So if you want to go, next is a zoom button. So when you click on and select a portion, that portion will be zoomed. So here, in order to go back to normal place, there is a home button is there. When you click on it, will come back to normal position. This graph you can save as an image. So how to save as the image means there is a save button, you can see save the file. When you click on, it will open the file manager. There wherever you want to save this image, you can graph as an image, you can store there. So these are the different things present in the graph. So now if you want to proceed with the rest of the program, is this graph you have to cancel. So then only the rest of the program will be proceeded. So now after this much I have explained the program. So now I will go with the rest of the program. So next thing is, here what we have to do is, here as I told, here in this Twitter sentiment analysis, whatever the data we are handling, it is a textual data. So in order to handle textual data, we have to use NLP techniques. So what we have to do is, whatever the tweets we are using in the projects, here I will open the data set, then only we will get to know what is the like things present in my entire tweet. See here, this is the exact tweets present in my sentiment text column. Now you can see whatever the tweets is there, the tweets is mixed of alpha, like capital and small letters is mixed, and there are some symbols are there, is something like different kind of punctuation symbols, upper lowercase, everything is mixed up is there. Again there are some like normal way, like these are the common words is there. So using these things directly will not work it out. So one more thing is, none of the algorithm will accept this textual data as it is. So finally we have to give only numerical data. So now what I will do is, using NLP techniques, first I am going to remove all kind of symbols or punctuations present in my each tweet. After that I will what I will do is, I will convert like what is there, whatever the each sentence is there, I will convert into a list of words. From each list of words, some of the common words like stop words present in these Twitter, in each tweet, I'm going to remove them. After that I will lemmatize, like convert into dictionary form. Finally, I will convert all of them into lowercase. After that, we'll convert into numerical value. All this procedure now I have to do with the help of NLP techniques. So how to do that one will explain. So now before directly applying into my data set, what I will do is I will take some examples, and after for examples I will apply those techniques. Later section I will combine all these techniques and apply to my data set. So here the first step is removing any kind of punctuations or symbols present in the data set. So one example I will do that one, taking one example sentence. So first here the example sentence I am taking, storing in a variable s. Now you can see whatever the string data or one sentence I am taking, it is combined of all the different kind of punctuations and symbol. Inside this one there is a sentence is there, hello please attend the class. So here for this I am going to apply that removing of the stop or punctuation like technique, that is the help of this RE, regular expression regex, which I have imported. This with the help of that technique I will remove. So RE dot sub of, this is the exact syntax you have to use in order to remove any kind of punctuations or symbols present. So whenever those kind of symbols or punctuations come, it will just remove them. At that place nothing it will return, so like an empty, it will just remove them. So for which data I am applying this, for this s sentence. After applying the clean data, I will store it in a variable s. So finally I will print that s. So when I print that s, this is the output you will get. See here, hello please attend the class. So what it is showing, hello please attend the class. So all the remaining punctuations or symbols, everything is removed, only the alphabets is there. If numerical value present, also digit value you will get. So hello please attend the class, the exact clean sentence you got as the output. So this is how this RE removing the punctuation will work. So this I will later section of the program I will apply to my every tweet present in my entire data set. So now thing is, whatever the sentence is there, for first we have to convert our sentence into words so that we can analyze the each word. So how to convert any sentence into list means nltk.word tokenize. So this word tokenize will help us to convert into sentence into list of words. So here one example I am giving, hello how are you, this is the sentence I am giving. For this I am applying is word tokenize. Finally I will get a list of words, I will store it in a variable k. When I print k, this is the output I will get. See here, from this hello how are you, each word, that hello is a separate word, how are you, all the four words in the sentence has been separated as a list of words. So like this you will get as output when you apply word tokenize. So this I will use in the later section of pro. For each tweet I will convert into a list of words. So after that, why I am converting a list of words means, from these list of words we have to remove the stop words, because stop words is nothing but a common words which will come in the sentences, so that which will have like common meaning will become present in every tweets or every sentences. So there is no point in analyzing them, so we have to remove them. So for that a reference I needed, so I will import that one. So from nltk.corpus import stop words. So from this stop words of words English, so I want a list of stop words present in my English. From this nltk tool I am importing that, I will store it in a word stop words. When I print these stop words, now you can see these from here to here, these are the different stop words present in English from this nltk tool. So you can see if any kind of these words present in my each weight means I am going to remove them. So only apart from removing, after removing all these words, the remaining things I am going to analyze it next. So this I am going to apply for a single sentence. Now how to remove them means, first, so before removing, what we have to do is, when I will take an example sentence, so say this sentence is equal to, so this is the exact sentence I am taking an example. For this sentence, removing the stop words I will apply. So if you want to remove the stop words means we don't want a sentence, we want a list of words. So I will convert first this sentence into a list of words. So nltk.word tokenize of this sentence I am giving as a para input. So it will convert this word tokenize this sentence into a list of words. I will store it in a words variable. So now I will check if in this list of words is there any stop words present, means apart from those stop words, all the remaining stop words like remaining words I am going to store it in a variable now. So w for w in words of, if that particular w, that word is not in stop words means only that word I am going to store as a list stored in a variable words. So when I print those words, now you can see what is the output you are getting. COVID-19 pandemic impacted many countries, economy stressful. So only these words apart from the stop words I got from that sentence after removing the stop words. So initially there are has and did, these two, all the thing is there, these are nothing but stop words. So all of them has been removed successfully. Now you can see all those words has been removed. So this is the exact technique I will later use in order to every tweet present in my data set. So next thing is we have to lemmatize. So lemmatize is nothing but converting into dictionary form, like a base form. So that technique I will first import. So from nltk.stemp stem import wordnet lematizer. So one object of it I have to create. So wordnet lematizer of open and close brace, an object of it I'm creating stored in a variable lematizer. So now I will apply for a one input sentence, example sentence. So Bean had done languages cities mice. This is the example sentence I'm taking, stored in a variable input str. So here this wordnet lematizer also we have to apply for words, not a sentence. So I have to convert this sentence into list of words. So nltk.word token is of input string I'm applying. So it will give a list of words. I will store in a variable input str only. So now I will fetch one by one each word using for loop. So for word in input str will fetch all the list of words from this list of words one by one stored in a temporary variable word. So now I will apply lemmatization. So after that I will print directly. So print of lemmatizer, inside that the function is lematize of the word, this for this word I'm applying. After that when I print all the words lemmatizing, after lemmatizing, this is the output you are getting. So Bean had done is nothing has changed, it is as it is in the sentence. Now we can see as it is. This languages cities mice, now what they have been converted means languages converted into language, city is converted into city, mouse mice is converted into mouse. So all the plural things is now converted into singular things. Like this some changes will happen when you apply lemmatization for each word present in the each example tweet. So the same technique later I will use in order to apply for each tweet present in my data set. So now all the techniques I have applied for some example sentences. So now I will combine them finally to apply my all the tweets present in my entire data set. So now what I should do means I should fetch all the tweets present in my data set one by one. After that for each tweet I have to get one by one. For that I have to apply all this technique. Finally a filter sentence I will get, that I should uh, replace in my original data set from where whichever the sentence tweet I have taken, at that place only this clean tweet I have to replace. So how to do that one means, first for index comma row in data dot iter rows. So what this data dot iter rows means, it is going to give me for index and row value. So index will have the index value 0 1 2 3, row will have all the data present in that entire row. So here in the entire row we have both sentiment text and sentiment value, but I want only the sentiment text, nothing but a tweets I want. So first I will create one filter sentence. So filter sentence is equal to like open and close the single quote is nothing but an empty string I created. Next is I want only sentiment text, only tweets I want. So from row of the column which data I want me sentiment text column data, I will store it in a variable sentence. So now from my sentiment row text column, first row data, only first tweet I have taken and stored in a variable sentence. So now for this I will apply all those techniques, NLP techniques. So re.sub of, this is for removing all any kind of punctuations or symbols. I'm applying for this sentence. Finally the clean sentence I will get stored in a variable sentence. So now I will convert this sentence into a list of words. So nltk.word token is of this sentence I'm giving as an input. So it will give a list of words I will store in a variable words. So now I will remove stop words. So w for w in words, if that w is not in stop words, only the words which are not there in the stop words list I will store it in a variable word. So now I got a list of words which apart from the like except the stop words. So from these words I will apply the lemmatization. So I want to do it for word by word. So I want to fetch a word, each word after the word. So I will use a for loop. For word in words it will fetch one word after the another. So temporarily each word will be stored in a variable word. For that I have to apply lemmatization. So what I will do is whatever my empty string I have created, for that I will after every word I should give a gap. So in a gap I'm giving an empty string is nothing but a space I'm giving, plus all of after lemmatizing I will store it in a string format. So str of lemmatizer dot lemmatize of I'm applying for this word. After lemmatizing I want all the output in either in upper or lower case. In this example I'm converting everything into lower case. So dot lower of will convert all the alphabets in the words into lower case. Finally I'm adding, so finally I will get a filtered sentence, that I will store it in a variable filter sentence. This I should replace in my original sentence wherever my tweet which I have taken, right? At that place I have to replace this filtered tweet. So where I will replace means data dot location of at the index, whichever the index I have fetched, right, that index stored in a variable index, at that location only I am replacing. Where means in the sentiment text column row, the which value I'm replacing means this filter sentence I'm replacing. This what I did is happened for a single tweet. So now as everything is available inside a for loop, now all the tweets like there are 99,989 rows or tweets is there, all of them will be applied the same technique, all of them will replaced with filter tweet. So this is how happen. Finally when I print my data dot head, it will print starting 5 rows of data from my clean data set. So when I print, this is the output finally you will get. See here, this is the output it is printing starting from 0 to 4, 5 rows of data it has printed. When I print it, See here what is getting, all the like all the alphabets or all the words are in lowercase only. No, none of them have any kind of symbols or anything, stop words is not there, and everything is removed. So now proper input, you are like a sentence, cleaned sentence you are getting as the output here. So next thing is we have to split our input and output column. So like I told, my input column is a sentiment text, output column is sentiment column. So now I have to store it in separate variables. So from my data, the column, which column is sentiment, where the tweets is present, that I will store it in a variable x, that is my input column. From my data again, the column sentiment, that is my 01 output is there, that I will store it in a variable y. So now finally I will print my input and output column, print x and y. When I print, you can see when I print x, this is the output you are getting. See here, these are my input column, only tweets is there. When I print y, this is the output, 01 is there, nothing but 0 means positive, 1 means negative. So input and output column I separated and I printed. Next thing is, whatever the entire data set will have will not give directly in order to train. What we will do is, from the entire data set we'll split our data set for training and testing, like 80% or 70% will give for training, remaining 20 or 30% will give for testing. So in order to split our data set in that ratio, a splitting technique have to import now. So from sklearn dot model underscore selection, import train test bit. So this is the exact technique I will use in order to split my data set. Now I will call that one train test bit. The first parameter I'm passing is x, that is my input column, y, that is my output column. Next parameter is test size. So here, in which test size you want to get, I'm giving 0.2 is nothing but 20%. If you give 0.3 is 30, like that. 0.2 means here it will split the data set in the ratio 80-20%. Next thing is random underscore shade, that is a number of times shuffling the data. That value I'm giving 0 means I'm not shuffling the data here. So finally it will give me, like, it will split the data set. After executing, it will give me 4 different output. I will store it in 4 different variables. X string, so in this variable 80% of my input column data x will be stored in x string, remaining 20% will be stored in x string, like that. From my output column y, 80% will be stored in y string, remaining 20% will be stored in y string. So this is how exactly the splitting will work. So once the splitting is occurred in the ratio 80-20, you know, but how many rows, 80% means how many rows it has taken, 20% means how many rows it has taken, you don't know. Not to cross check, I will print the shape of each variable, like length of each variable. So print of x string, so length of x string will print the number of rows present in x string, like that. Length of x string, length of y string, length of y string. After printing length of them, I'll get number of rows present in each variable. So now this is the output you got. Here x string length is 79,991. So among 99,980 rows of data, 100%, 80% means 79 rows, 79,990 rows it has taken. 20% means 19,980 rows taken. So like that, in y train also, y test also 80-20% ratio it has splitted. So these many rows present in x train, y train and y test. So now splitting is also done. So the next step what we have to do is, here also, after splitting also, whatever we got, it is a tweet. So it is also, now also it is a tweet, like a clean tweet, but it is a text only. So now what we have to do is, none of the algorithm will take the textual data, we have to convert this text into numerical data. So what I will do is, there are, in order to handle this textual data, some NLP technique is there, like count vectorizer, TFT transformer. So this count vectorizer, what it will do is, when I give some input sentence as a input for this count vectorizer, it will convert this sentence or words into whatever the textual data is there, it convert into a vector format, like a numerical. Like how it will convert means, for each words in the sentence, it will assign some numerical value, like 0, 1, like that, some assign, it will give me a vector. So that vector we can directly give in order to train our algorithm. So after this vector, what I will give, it will count vector itself give me in a numerical, like only integer values. So in order to convert into floating value, it a more efficient way, I will apply TFT transformer after the count vectorizer. So that will give me all the values, that values inside that vector in a normal decimal or floating values it will give. So these two things we have to apply one after the other. After that, we have to give it to train our algorithm. So what we have to do is, first we have to convert into a numerical vectorizer. After that, we have to give to train our algorithm. So all these things should happen one after the other. So what I will do is, I will create a pipeline now. So using that pipeline, I will create a model. So how to do that one? First we have to import different algorithms and all those count vectors and TFT transformer. For those things I will do. So from sklearn.feature extraction dot text, import TFT transfer I'm importing. Next, from sklearn.feature underscore extract and text, import count vectorizer I'm importing. Next thing is, from sklearn.navy base import multinomial navy base. So this is the exact algorithm. From navy base there are different technique algorithm is there. For this textual data I am using multinomial base. So now navy base algorithm I have imported. I will create an object of it. So multinomial navy base and object created stored in a CLF1. So here in this project we have to use classification algorithm, like because finally my output will be either Twitter is positive or negative, only two things will be like, so we have to classify. So classification algorithm we have to use. So I'm using navy based classification algorithm, created an object of it, stored in a variable CLF1. Next thing is from sklearn.linear model import logistic regression. So logistic regression, one of the algorithm I imported, and an object of it I created and stored in a variable CLF2. So these are the two algorithm I'm using in this project. This will mainly help us to handle with the textual data, because random forest, decision tree, other algorithm is there. For that algorithm this textual data handling capacity is not there up to this much, because I tried them, it is not giving, so it is better not to use them. So these two will giving the output. So I'm using navy base and logistic regression, two algorithms. Next, from sklearn.pipeline import pipeline. So like I told, pipeline I'm importing. Now I will create a pipeline. So pipeline now. So inside the pipeline what will be there? First thing is count vectorizer object I am creating. So first count vectorizer is applied. After that TFD transformer. So TFD transformer and object creating will take one of the parameter, that is normalization value I am giving L2, in order to increase the accuracy of the model. So next thing is CLF1 I am applying, that is classification algorithm which I am giving CLF1, navy base is the one. So finally I will store it in a variable model1. So model1 is nothing but my navy base algorithm. Next thing is pipeline of count vector is the same, TFT transform, only algorithm changes, CLF2 logistic regression, stored in a variable model2. So model1 is navy base, model2 is logistic regression. So after doing this one we have to train our algorithm. So how to train means model1 dot fit function will help us to train the algorithm. Which data I will give? Only training data. So x train comma y train, only 80% of data I am giving in order to train my algorithm. This will train navy base algorithm. Next, model2.fit x train y train will train logistic regression. So once model has been trained, next we have to, what we have to do is we have to predict output from the trained algorithm. So model1, that is a navy base dot predict of x test, only the 20% of input data I'm giving as a parameter here. So this will give predict the output, that I will store it in a prediction one variable, that is predicted output from navy base. Next, model2 dot predict x test, stored in a variable prediction2, that is predicted output from logistic regression. So now we have to evaluate our model, nothing but we have to calculate the accuracy of these algorithms. So from sklearn.metrics import accuracy score. So with the help of this accuracy score only I will calculate the accuracy. So accuracy score of I am calling, the first parameter I am passing is y test, that is my 20% of actual data, actual output. Next, prediction one, that is the 20% whatever the predicted output from navy base algorithm. So this accuracy score will compare actual output and predicted output and give me the accuracy value, like some floating or decimal value like 0.53, 0.60, some value it will give. I will store it in a variable accuracy. Finally I want accuracy in percentage. So print accuracy of navy base is up to 2 decimal I want. So colon dot 2f will restrict up to 2 decimal point. Wherever the flower base is there, at that place I am replacing accuracy. So dot format of accuracy I am multiplying by 100, so get it in percentage. So this will print the accuracy of navy base. So next, accuracy score of y test, y prediction, that is prediction 2, that is a predicted output from logistic regression. So finally accuracy of logistic regression up to 2 decimal in percentage I am printing. So when I print accuracy of navy base and logistic regression, now you see, so accuracy of logistic and navy base, you can see navy base giving 73.70 and logistic is giving 75.88, nearly 76%. So among these two algorithms, logistic regression is giving the more accuracy of 76%. So among these two, so navy base is logistic regression is the algorithm which gave the more accuracy. So that I will consider as my final model. So the what I will do is I will directly convert into a pickle model, like a binary format. So how to do that one is import joblib of which algorithm, model12. So model12 is nothing but here logistic regression. So logistic regression, which the name I am giving final pickle model extension pickle. So after executing this line, a pickle model will be generated automatically. This one, whatever a final pickle model you are seeing dot pickle, this will automatically generate. So next, how to load it after generating. whether it is generated, but you don't know exactly whether it has been converted successfully or not. In order to cross check, how I will load that back and calculate the accuracy again. So how to load that pickle model means joblib.load up the name of the file final pickle model extension pkl you have to give that. I after loading I will store it in a variable final model. So now I'll predict the output from this final model. So final model dot predict x test predicted output I will store in pred. I will calculate the accuracy score of y test pred 1 stored in variable accuracy. Finally, I will print accuracy of my final model is up to 2 decimal colon dot 2f in percentage. So multiplying it by 100. When I print accuracy of my final model, see here what is there? Accuracy of my final model is 75.88, which is nothing but same as the accuracy of logistic regression is nothing but whatever the conversion I did, it has been done successfully. So now what I did, I used my data set. I trained all logistic regression and naive-Bayes algorithm with the help of machine learning techniques and NLP techniques also, count vectorizer and TFD transform I use. Finally, logistic regression is the algorithm which gave me the accuracy of 76%. I converted into a pickle model finally. So logistic regression is my final algorithm which I will use for the prediction in the front end code. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you.